let's talk about Shinigami Eyes. Shinigami Eyes is a plugin, mainly known for its use on Twitter, but it does work anywhere on the internet, that highlights transphobic individuals' names in red and trans-positive names in green. That's pretty much it. It's quite simple, but the context surrounding the name of the plugin, Shinigami Eyes, holds a lot of hidden meaning. I'll very quickly go over it because those who know don't need to be told. Death Note is a pretty good anime from 2006. It's one of those shows that everybody should watch, though as always, skip the Netflix adaptation. The TLDR is, Light Yagami is a Japanese high school student who finds a magical notebook, the titular Death Note. What makes it magical is that if you write somebody's name in the book while picturing their face in your mind, they die. Light is an athletic, attractive, charismatic super genius who is bored with the world and views other people as beneath him. Couple that with his own very retributive sense of morality, and he decides to use the powers of the Death Note to begin to systematically kill every criminal on the planet in order to bring about the utopia. This is where the Shinigami come in. Shinigami means death god in Japanese, and there's a wide variety of interpretations of them in their culture, but Death Note uses them the way that we'd use Angel of Death, a being responsible for the orderliness of death, who comes for those when their time is up and brings their soul to the afterlife. The Shinigami are the owners of the Death Notes, the tools of their trade. They invisibly move about the world with the ability to see the names of people floating above their heads, along with a timer counting down the remainder of their natural life. In this way, the Shinigami know whose turn it is to die. But if a human happens to acquire a Death Note, its corresponding Shinigami becomes their invisible companion. One of the perks a Shinigami might offer to their new human is the Shinigami Eyes. In exchange for half of the human's remaining natural life, the human gains the power to see the world as the Shinigami do, with the names and times above everybody's heads. It sort of looks like the way Google Glass was supposed to operate, or like the scanning from the Watchdog games. And they all appeal to that same idea, that you can walk through society appearing normal while you exist half in another plane, learning people's secrets simply by looking at them. Death Note is the kind of show that came out at just the right time and was just edgy and smart enough that a lot of the terminally online trans Twitter crowd nowadays absolutely worship it as part of their formative years. And so I am not surprised that they would name their transphobe detector software Shinigami Eyes. The implication that there is the secret underpinning of reality that only the special few have access to, that they can peer beyond the veil and see the truth beneath people's hearts with their unique trans powers, that shit is right up their Mary Sue special snowflake alley. Of course, how the plugin works is there's a database of names, and people are rated by users of the app on how more or less transphobic they are. So if you see a green name, that means that people rated that person as trans positive. You see a red name, that means that people rated that person as transphobic. It's kind of like that Lulu app, if you remember that controversy. Back in 2013, the Lulu app was launched. It was a way for women to rate men. It was considered a side app to Tinder, launched in 2012. And piggybacking off that app's success, if you were a girl and you approved of meeting a guy on Tinder, you could hop over to Lulu and see what other girls thought of him. For a time, Lulu was also considered this secret exclusive network running beneath Tinder while still being an unofficial part of it. And when it finally became public knowledge, the men who were on it found it rather demeaning that they were being cataloged by their intimate partners. The resulting controversy saw Lulu fall into disuse, and the company was eventually sold off in 2016. Also, because we're not coming back to Death Note again in this video, and when the hell am I going to talk about this again? In the 2019 Death Note one-shot, Donald Trump, as President of the United States, pays 1 quadrillion yen to obtain a new Death Note, but declines to use it, simply opting to keep it out of China's hands. Based. So even though I'm not trans, I decided to install Shinigami Eyes, because why not? Why not see the world the way that those terminally online Twitter trans people see it? I'm sure there's going to be a few of them who screech at the idea. How dare I pop their bubble? How dare somebody like me use their tools? But fuck it. Alright, here we are on twitter.com. Let's take a look at who I'm following and who's marked what. Nothing so far, nothing so far. Oh, Simp Neelix. Simp Neelix is the first. Why this account? Simp Neelix is the first casualty as apparently being transphobic. Oh, Zach Rabbit is red. Yiz is red. Again, not surprised. Gamby is red. Gamby is a trans woman. Anti-fascist radlib content creator, trans woman. Anna Valens is predictably marked as green, though keep that name in mind for later. People whining about Stone Toss. Even gimmick accounts aren't safe from Shinigami Eyes. 9volt's green, I wonder if all the feet pics helped him out. Riley is green, no surprise there. If you're marked as green, it doesn't mean that you're just a woke scold and that's it. For green, it's about 50% chance you're a woke scold, 50% chance you're actually pretty cool. The left can't meme, of course, is marked red. But then again, so is Erika, the super lesbian. I guess because she doesn't want to suck the dick bigot, she's a transphobe, alright. The Real Daily Wire, marked red. Alan Bukhari, marked red. Breitbart, marked red, no surprises here. Karlin Borisenko is red. I never, is she anti-trans? I didn't think she was. Sinatra Says is red. What did Sinatra do? Zuby's red, there's no surprises there. Hold on. Babylon B is red? Aren't they a comedy say? Aren't they news parody? ThinkSpot. That's Jordan Peterson's attempt to make a social media platform, right? It's a transphobic platform? Like, is that the implication here? Oh shit, Dr. Diddler. One of the mods over at Adam and Sitch. Guess he's a transphobe, shit. The Quartering and his editor are both red. Nobody's surprised with this, right? Razorfist is marked red. At this point, I'm just kind of wondering if they're marking red anybody who, like, makes a joke at the expense of trans people. Of course, a lot of the more cucked online personalities are green. Markiplier's green. Egoraptor's green. Movie Bob is green. Oh shit, V and Styx are red. Oh my god, guys, I didn't know. Why didn't you tell me that you wanted to exterminate the trans population? Lauren Southern, Jordan Peterson, Joe Rogan, Notch, Brett Weinstein, Christina Hoff Summers, William Shatner, red. Ariel Scarcella, or however you pronounce her last name, I don't know. Queen of Controversial Conversations and Lesbian. Yeah, I really do think that for a lot of these people, especially if they're cis women, it's going to be a suck the dick bigot situation. Titania McGrath. They are, in fact, calling satirical humor transphobic. Oh, damn, dude. The elf porn account, and Aiden Paladin, and Cafe Beef. She's trans herself. The world's just full of transphobes, dude. Shit. The more I look at this list, the more I'm realizing that if someone's marked red, they may or may not be transphobic, but it's much more likely that they're just an interesting person, or at least somebody who understands the nature of humor. Just out of curiosity, I decided to hit up the alt-right page on Wikipedia. Of course, we got Richard Spencer labeled, the Daily Stormer, Steve Bannon, Donald Trump, Ayn Rand. Was Ayn Rand anti-trans? I mean, I don't know. I don't know enough about her. Vladimir Putin, David Duke. Oh, this article has Margaret Atwood as green. I guess the app hasn't caught up yet. She's a transphobe now. I don't know if you heard the recent news. There is a little bit I wanted to show you on the Gab Wikipedia as well. Yeah, the entire site of Gab is marked as red. Check this out. Tim Poole, Dave Rubin, British National Party, Alan West, Richard Spencer, Mark Meechan, that's Dankula, and Carl Benjamin. Sargon, you're spared. You're not transphobic, but Jess Phillips is. Okay, there's one last thing I gotta look up, alright? Just bear with me. Oh shit, dude. They labeled Hitler as being transphobic. I totally needed the app to figure this out. Actually, I don't know. Was there a modern conception of transness, back in the 1930s and 1940s? In fact, in the article on Nazism, the only red links are Adolf Hitler, Nazi Party. If you keep scrolling down, none of these names, none of these organizations have anything on here. And you have one more red link, Joseph Stalin. This is literally just an interactive list of people they don't like. That's all it is. There's nothing more to it than that. Now, as fun as this all is, I've known about Shinigami Eyes for maybe a year now, maybe a little bit less. I don't know when the plugin came out, but I remember hearing about it on Twitter for a while now. Whenever it was talked about, it was always in the vein of, hey, the silly cis people don't know that we can see them. And now that the normies have finally caught up, they're all screeching and spouting nonsense. Jordan Tildesley wrote an article about the app called Red Listed, stating that the browser extension Shinigami Eyes color codes names on the wrong side of history. This week, I had the audacity to suggest on Twitter that anti-Semitism remains a problem within some on the left. Well, it does. And it led me down an extraordinary and terrifying rabbit hole. Welcome to the online world of Shinigami Eyes. I received a notification from one Twitter user alerting another to the fact that Shinigami Eyes shows me as a transphobe, with a link to the page shinigami-eyes.github.io. Confused, I clicked on the link and made a startling discovery. It's a database of people who are being recorded for their views without their knowledge or consent. Shinigami Eyes uses a combination of user contributions and algorithms to decide your fate. Anyone who installs it can type your name into a search engine and form an opinion of you based on the color you've been assigned. You have involuntarily joined a database which includes information about you for others to inspect. Yeah, see, I wonder if progressives like Jordan here complained when it was them on Lulu talking about men. Probably not, frankly. But now that the shoe is on the other foot, I guess it's a problem. Forget about Lulu, though. There's a far more popular add-on that once upon a time added an extra layer to your browsing experience. An add-on that progressives decried as being a hotbed of fascism and bigotry and whatever else. It was called Dissenter. Remember that? I made a video on it back in the day. Dissenter was a Chrome extension made by Gab that added a comment section to every single page of the internet. The comments were stored on Gab's servers and were sorted by URL. So whenever you were on any page, you could open up Dissenter and see what people were saying about it. It blew up rapidly back in 2019 until Google moved to kill it from working on Chromium-based browsers. In practice, it was a far superior Shinigami Eyes, in that it also acted as an underlayer of the internet that only those in the know could access, which transmitted extra information to the user, but this time it allowed for whole conversations to happen on there. Same principle, better implementation. And everybody lost their fucking minds at Dissenter. How dare you comment on articles when we specifically shut the comments off? Who do you think you are? How dare you leave notes in Dissenter on my tweets that I can't see unless I install your racist, transphobic app? How dare you talk to each other or trade information in a way that we don't approve of? Probably the silliest take of all came from Anna Valens over the Daily Dot, who called it a far-right comment section for hating on journalists, and the home of all things Gamergate and MAGA. Geez, even back then Gamergate was 5 years old. Give it up. When they create a secret shadow layer of the internet, it's an empowering tool to help others, to label people as problematic and safely exile them. But when others do it, it's an alt-right recruiting tool. It's a hotbed for fascism. In actuality, though, Dissenter and Shinigami Eyes are cut from the same cloth, in that they contribute hidden knowledge layered atop a regular internet experience that only those who know can access. Shinigami Eyes provides a single data point, whether or not you're a transphobe, that is commonly inaccurate. At a quick glance, Dissenter provided whole conversations worth of information from multiple sources, if you had the inclination to read it all. There's nothing actually wrong with either of them, but it's telling who objects to which and why. See, in the end, I actually don't care that people seriously use Shinigami Eyes. I find it cringe, but you've got the right to be as cringe as you want, and I've got the right to troll cringy people, so it all works out. And, speaking of that,